I was a senator from New York, and I want to see them brought to justice. The most important thing for me is that, they pay the ultimate price for what they did to us on 9/11. And if the Attorney General and veteran prosecutors think this is the best way to achieve that outcome, then I think that, they should be given the right to move forward as they see appropriate.
Well, that was Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in a very strong appearance yesterday in Meet the Press. Did the Obama administration make the right call in bringing these people to trial in New York? And should they send Guantanamo prisoners to Illinois? We have two members of the House of Representatives from Illinois. U.S. Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky is a Democrat from Chicago, and U.S. Congresswoman Judy Biggert is a Republican from somewhere else. Let me go with Congresswoman Schakowsky. Schakowsky, are you confident that that this is the right move to bring these guys, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and the other four, to trial in New York in criminal court and prosecute them, perhaps convict them, perhaps execute them after the trial? Is that the smart move?
Absolutely. I think to say anything else is to pander to irrational fears, and actually it's insulting to our law enforcement and judicial system, the professionals that work there. There are already 216 individuals who have been convicted of terrorist-related activities in the United States in federal prisons, and we certainly could use prosecutions of those individuals, and we also could use the jobs in Thompson, Illinois.
Let me go to Congresswoman Biggert. Do you think it's a right thing to do to try these people in criminal court?
No, I don't think it's the right thing to do. That's why we have the military tribunals. When we have them come into the United States, they are granted the same rights as citizens or those that are here on a permanent visa. And that's not right, because it's going to change the whole way an enemy combatant is tried. What's going to happen with the Miranda rights? What's going to happen with our secrets that the CIA and how they operate? What's going to happen with all of the things that we are going to give up? The witnesses, who's going to, and the jurors, are they going to be subject to reprisals if they are in on this jury? I think this is the wrong way to go.
Back in the early part of our country, I want to go back to stick with Congresswoman Biggert for a second and see if she's consistent here. Back in the beginnings of our country, we had a trial for the soldiers involved in the Boston Massacre, and we gave those British soldiers a real trial, and John Adams was their defense attorney, and a lot of them got off. Do you think that was a mistake to give them a real trial, or we should just executed them? What should we have done?
Well, I'm talking about having a real trial.
Was it wrong to give a real trial to people who shot down our people in the Boston Massacre, or was that a good emblem of the kind of country we were going to be, a country of laws? What was John Adams was their defense lawyer. Should he have not taken that job? Should he have not defended the enemies of our country and shown that we have a good system of law in this country? Was that a mistake? Historically?
Yes, but they were involved in the Boston Massacre that was on this soil. We're talking about bringing in enemy combatants that were international, that they were not here, bringing them in for the trials. We're at war. We have war criminals, and we should try them with the military tribunal, as we always have done.
Where did Khalid Sheikh Mohammed go to college? Congresswoman Biggert, stick on this point. Where did he go to college?
Probably Harvard.
No, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, where did he go to college?
I don't know.
Well, he went to school and he got his degree in North Carolina. So go on. Congresswoman Schakowsky, make your point, because I think this is a complicated case, but make your point. I don't think it's as simple as Rudy Giuliani makes it sound when he's playing to the crowds. I want to read you. Here's typical Giuliani. Let's listen to him playing to the crowds on CNN this Sunday.
First of all, it's an unnecessary advantage to give to the terrorists. I don't know why you want to give terrorists advantages. And secondly, it's an unnecessary risk to the city of New York, which already has any number of risks. If it was necessary, if this were the only option, well, of course I'd be in favor of it. It's part of Barack Obama deciding that we're not at war with terrorism any longer.
Congresswoman Biggert suggested Khalid Sheikh Mohammed went to college at Harvard. I know what that means. It's sort of the anti-intellectualism of the Republican Party. I think it's mindless talk. But he went to college in the United States. He speaks English. He came out of our country. It drives me crazy that somebody like that could be an enemy of our country. How do we properly try him? Congresswoman Schakowsky, what's the right way for an American to try this bad guy?
Guantanamo Bay has been such a blot on the reputation of the United States around the world, but it has also been a recruiting tool for terrorists. I think the fact that now we use the best justice system in the world in order to try these individuals makes all kinds of sense. Look, we were able to try Zacharias Moussaoui, we were able to try the blind sheikh, and we have incarcerated them in supermax prisons where there's no chance of their getting out. There is no threat. I think it's irresponsible to scare people in communities and to say that we cannot, the United States of America, cannot handle these individuals, and our justice system just isn't up to it. Of course we can do it. We can give them a fair trial. Look, we executed Timothy McVeigh, a domestic terrorist. All of the options are open for these international terrorists, right. And I think we restore our respectability around the world.
I don't think that we're really talking.
Congresswoman Bigger, your thoughts?
We're not talking the same thing. You said that have a fair trial. I believe that we can give them a fair trial in the civil courts, no question of that. The difference is that even though Sheikh Mohammed might have gone to school here, he's not a citizen, doesn't live here, but even the U.S. Attorney General has already said that he's going to be convicted. I don't see that that's fair. This is just grandstanding so that we can prove to the world what a wonderful judiciary system that we have. Let's get back to the basics. Let's have the military tribunal where this belongs.
What do you make of that, Congresswoman Schakowsky? You know, Secretary of State Clinton is a brilliant lawyer in many ways besides being a politician. And she said on TV, on Meet the Press yesterday, that we're going to execute, we're going to try him, then execute him. He's going to pay the ultimate penalty. It sounds like one of those old cowboy movies where we're going to give him a fair trial and then hang him. I mean, if we're going to hang him, why is the trial important if we've already decided that he's guilty?
Because that's what we do in the United States of America. And even the most heinous criminals who are arrested for horrible crimes like molesting children are given trials in order to hear the testimony. I think it's very important that we do that. But I think at the end of the day, all of the options, I'm not for the death penalty, but including the death penalty would certainly be available. There is absolutely nothing to fear, and there's no reason for us not to do that. And I think that we actually look better when we do that.
Are you against the death penalty in these cases?
I'm against the death penalty. Okay. I think the state committing a murder is a murder.
Okay. Okay. Thank you both, Congresswoman Schakowsky and Congresswoman Judy Biggert. Thanks for joining us.